Hello guys and welcome. This is the first video in my Java series. My first video, or this video, we're gonna talk about the overriding mechanism in Java. So we open IntelliJ IDEA, a new project, then let's call it overriding. Then let's open it here. Let's go to the Java file in the src and main in Java. Let's create a new Java file. I'm gonna call it animal. Alright, let's give it a field name called name. Let's give it a public scope or visibility, so string name. Alright, and we add a new method called sound, which will return string. Okay, hello animal. Alright, now this method right here, this method and alright, will be overridden in our subclass, which is gonna create it now, called dog, which extends animal. And let's do an overriding of the sound method. First of all, to override the method, as we can see here, we should have it should have the same name, same return type, same parameters, broader scope, and not broader exception. So let's put the animal class here, or here and here. This gives us a greater view. So we have the sound class. So first of all, the sound class is the visibility of the sound class is public. All right, we can do private, which is not a broader scope. As we can see here in our rules, you should have a broader scope or the same scope or same scope. So private, if we're gonna call it a private string, let's call it sound with lowercase, so sound, and return hello dog. Right, we have the same name, same return type, but the scope is not broader. So if we hover here, we can see that the compiler said that the scope is private and not public. So we can fix this by put it public here. So, and we can add an override here, right? But this is optional. We can delete it, but it's a good practice to let it here because it gives us a documentation for free. All right. So for IntelliJ IDEA, if you use IntelliJ IDEA, you can make shortcut here and override the method as we did here. That's gain us some time. So we return hello dog. You should know those shortcuts. That helps you. Okay, now the second rule is, or the first rule actually, is the same name. If we're going to override a method automatically, or it's normal to give us the same name. If we try to change the names, call it sound1, that won't work, right? Either you delete the override, or you return the same name, because if you call it sound1, that's another name. All right, that's another method. So same name, same return type. All right, if you give it string now and you give it integer here, that's logically won't work. All right, but here with the return type we can make it's flexible. It's flexible because we can make it in the overriding method. We can make the return type a subtype of the type of the method in the parent class. So let's try it here. If you call it object here and integer here, it will work, right? Just let's drop it here. It will work. It will work because integer is a subtype of object. So here also we can have string. It will work also, right? That's cool. That's for the return type. Let's talk about the parameters. Here we have no parameter, but let's say we have an object here, or int x. Now we have the compiler said that it's not overriding method, so I'm gonna add the c here and the int. Now we have the same signature, so same return parameters, so it works. All right. Another thing is the generics, right? If we have no object and string is a subtype of object, it works. But let's say we have a list of objects. Now we have a list of objects. Let's wrap it here. Now we have a list of objects. Let's say a list of strings. Now you may think it will work. Let's wrap it. It won't work, because a list of strings, a list or any collection, the compiler adds a type arranger on the compile time or on the run time, make that type go away. So here we can see a string, but actually it goes down to a list. All right, and a list here. So for generics it won't work like the normal return types. So that's for the return type. For the parameters, let's say here we have an int. Let's say here we have an integer, right? The wrapper class of int. And let's say here we have an object. Okay, first let's fix this. Let's go back to the object, and okay, let's return this object here. All right, and here let's return to the string. So let's fix this first. Now let's talk about the parameters. All right, let's say here we have an object and we have here an integer. All right, you may think that integer is subtype of object. It will work, sorry, but here it won't. All right, for overriding a method you should always have the same parameter type, exact same parameter type, not like the return type of the method. Here you are flexible to change the return type. You can choose a subtype of that return type, but here you can't do object and integer. All right, now let's talk about let's put here integer. Okay, that's fixed. But let's talk about the variables or fields. Now we have name here. Let's add name also here. You may think that this overrides the animal name. Now let's go to the zoo class and let's add zoo class actually, and see if that works, and see overriding in action. All right, so we have an animal. I'm gonna call it an animal and new animal. All right, without parameters. So this is our object. Now let's print the sound method. So animal sound, let's give it anything. All right, let's run our project. Here we can see that the return type is hello animal. Yes, now let's change animal to dog here. All right, we have the reference is animal and the object instantiation is dog. All right, and let's run it again. Now we can see that the method is overridden here. We can see that here this method is called, not this one. All right, that's overriding in action. All right, now and this part of polymorphism actually. So if we say dog here, it works the same. All right, the same result we see it here, same result. All right, now let's return here animal and let's print the name. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, it's null here. All right, now let's give it a name, animal1, and run the program again. Now it changes to animal actually. Animal change to animal1. Now even though we have the same name, the same variable name here, it didn't works. That's why actually I'm gonna add it to the notes here. Overriding doesn't work with variables. You can hide a variable, but you can't override. So in Java. So in this video we saw a lot of rules about overriding. So I hope you like it, guys. In the next video we're going to talk about overloading. It's the brother of overriding actually. You can think about it like that, and it's so important in any language and in Java also. So see you next time, guys.